really passionate about this topic because it's something I saw myself do for so many years, right? For so long. I really want to talk to you guys about how you are blocking abundance and that you are the reason you are blocking abundance. I want you guys to share with me below right now, before we even get started, if you're watching live, if you're watching the replay, I want you to share with me below right now, what is something that you want to manifest in your life right now that you would absolutely love to have? You would absolutely love to have this thing in your life right now, but you don't currently have it. What is it? Drop that in the comments for me below. One thing I see people doing all the time is justifying their desires. How many of you feel that you need to justify your desires, that you need to justify the things that you want? And if you haven't justified it in some way, then you aren't worthy of it, or that you aren't deserving of it. Give me a yes below if you have felt this before, that you feel if you want something that is bigger, more abundant than what you currently have right now, whether it is more money, more time freedom, a business that's growing, better health, better relationships, finding your soulmate. How many of you feel that you need to justify wanting these things? Because if we feel that what we desire is in the realm of what society deems successful or acceptable, or what society seems appropriate, right? Then we're okay with having it. We allow ourselves to have it. But here's the truth when it comes to society, right? I'm going to drop a real truth bomb for you guys right now. Society, most of society, are living in lack. There are 1% of people, 1% of the population are actually living in the abundance that they desire. Why do you think that is the case? Because society, we have been conditioned to feel that if we want something, if we want more, something that is bigger. I need to sit up here for a second because things are getting real. We've been conditioned to believe that if we want more than what we currently have, we need to justify wanting that, right? And if we don't need something in our life, then we shouldn't want it. I see people all the time using language like, I don't need it, right? I don't need nice things, or I don't need more money, or I don't need that. Like, I don't need these desires. They're just desires of mine, but I don't actually need it, right? It'd be nice to have these things, but I don't need it. Do you understand that just wanting a desire is good enough? Do you understand that just wanting a desire makes you worthy of receiving it? And that zero justification is needed for you to have that desire. We're the ones that block ourselves from having the abundance that we deserve because we use language like, it would be nice, but I don't need it. Or if we want something, we need to try and justify having that thing. Is this making sense to you guys? Let me know. Drop me a comment below if this is making sense to you, if you can resonate with what I'm saying. And we convince ourselves that we're doing the right thing by not wanting by not wanting our desires, or we convince ourselves that we're good living in lack. People that are broke and no money, right? People that have businesses that aren't thriving, people that have bad health, they make themselves, it becomes their normal. It becomes their normal, so much so that they feel they have to justify having anything better than that. It is ludicrous, guys. It needs to stop. This language, this lack needs to stop. Just because you don't need something in your life doesn't mean you can't have it. Doesn't mean you aren't worthy of it. You don't need to have something in order to know that you are worthy of it, in order to receive it. Right? And people use language all the time. Like, you know, I don't need to spend that money, or I don't need to have those things, or I don't need to do this, or I don't need to do that, because it makes them feel better. It makes them feel better about where they are at. Because admitting to themselves that they would actually like more, that's uncomfortable. That's not allowed. That's not acceptable in society. That we can only want more if it's justifiable. This language needs to stop. Because it's the reason you're broke. It's the reason you have a struggling business. It's the people that are broke. It's the people that have a struggling business. It's the people that have poor health. It's the people that have crappy relationships. They're the ones that are using the language like, oh, I don't need it, and just settling for where they are. But at the same time, they're trying to figure out, how can I call in more abundance? How can I call in more money? How can I call in a thriving business? I want to call in these things, right? But they're trying to find out why they're deserving of these things. They're trying to justify having these things in their life. We don't need to justify our desires. We don't. Our desires are there for a reason. Our desires were put there for us to fulfill. It is our responsibility to fulfill our desires. And as you can probably tell, it is something I am so freaking passionate about, because I am personally done with the small talk. I am done seeing people that are broke justify why they're, people that are broke, you know, justify why they should have more abundance, but at the same time, tell themselves they don't need more because it makes themselves feel better about being broke. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. We were not put here, and I say this all the time, we were not put here to struggle, to live in lack, to have to justify our desires. We get to have them because we want them. Simple. It's that simple. All right? So, please share or tag this with anyone that you think needs to hear this. It is a super important message. If you are someone who feels that you need to constantly justify your desires, or you feel like you are someone that need something in order to have it, or if you are someone who is constantly living in lack or feeling broke, not calling in the abundance that you want, but you're using this language, there is something there for you to look at, right? Because this is the reason why you are where you are. I wrote a post about this yesterday. You cannot feel lack and abundance at the same time. You cannot feel abundant about something and feel fear around it at the same time. That conflicting energy does not work. You are either in total abundance around your desires, and you are either an energetic match for that, or you're in lack. It doesn't work. Conflicting energy doesn't work. All right? So, share or tag this with anyone that you think needs to hear this. Thank you for jumping on and spending these few minutes with me. And I will chat to you guys really soon. Sending you love. Bye.